your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
We still have a couple flurries across central Illinois, but more than anything else, though, we're going to see the clouds that we have overnight tonight begin to thin out a bit more as temperatures will be falling into the low 20s. Right now, we're all generally still in the upper 20s and low 30s. 30 in Lincoln, 29 in Springfield, Decatur, Mattoon is there as well, 27 in Champaign, as well as in Danville and Watsika as well. But our Casey Summers weather camera, part of our roofing dog island in Mattoon, you've got cloudy skies there and occasionally a flurry here or there with winds still out of the northwest. They're not as strong, though, up to around 15 to 20 miles per hour. They should begin to weaken a bit more overnight tonight. So for your day on Thursday, we do have partly cloudy skies, so a mix of sun and clouds here and there. Temperatures will be in the 30s, and maybe a passing flurry is possible later on in the day. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
This coronavirus strain is new. It is scary.
The CDC warned the country to prepare for a possible outbreak. What local health departments and hospitals are doing to get ready.
3 hours, no movement. We ended.
Plus months of negotiations once again end in a stalemate as teaching assistants are still without a contract. And some want to put a stop to red light cameras. Why the latest plan to come out of the State House has a catch.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
The threat of coronavirus spreading is something we've been talking about a lot, but now health officials at the highest levels in the U.S. and in central Illinois are buckling down to fight it. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. Today, President Trump announced a coronavirus task force. Meanwhile, health officials in central Illinois are doing what they can to be ready. Champaign-Urbana's public health district has entered what it calls full pandemic preparedness. They haven't done that in more than a decade since the H1N1 virus in 2009. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live in our newsroom. So, Courtney, you talked with leaders in Champaign-Urbana today. What does that full pandemic preparedness mean?
Yeah, Jessica, that's a new term for a lot of us, but it means they're making plans on what to do if the virus comes to central Illinois. And part of that is by holding meetings with hospitals and doctors and communicating with the public on prevention.
This coronavirus strain is new. It is scary.
And it's on the minds of health officials across the world. Nearly 3,000 people have now died from the coronavirus, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. Public health officials in Vermilion County say they're doing what they can to make sure everyone has a plan in place.
So to employers, we're talking to them, it's like just try to imagine and make those plans. What happens if 10% of your workforce either is sick themselves or is home taking care of someone who's sick? What if it's 20%? Start to make those plans now.
President Trump is launching a task force dedicated to controlling the problem in the United States.
The number one priority from our standpoint is the health and safety of the American people.
While the risk to the American public is low, health leaders say the danger is still there.
Our containment strategy has been working. At the same time, what every one of our experts and leaders have been saying for more than a month now remains true. The degree of risk has the potential to change quickly, and we can expect to see more cases in the United States.
Now, a lot of people are wearing those surgical masks as a precaution to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. However, the CDC actually doesn't recommend that as a way to stop yourself from getting it. It's actually best used just for those who are sick and want to keep from spreading what they have to other people. Reporting live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
And Courtney, let's put one of those numbers in perspective here. You said nearly 3,000 people have died from coronavirus around the world. How many people have actually gotten the virus, been diagnosed?
Yeah, Jessica, and that number is pretty high. There are more than 80,000 cases around the world, and the majority of those 3,000 that we talked about, those deaths have been in mainland China.
So the majority of people who have gotten coronavirus have not died. That number is still under 3,000.
Yes, definitely. Comparatively, it is relatively low.
All right, Courtney, thanks so much. World health leaders are working on a vaccine for coronavirus right now, but that takes time. They're still researching it. They expect to have something to test in about 2 months. Even then, testing is a long process and can take 6 to 7 months on top of that. So they're looking at about a year to a year and a half before that vaccine could actually be used.
In other news, more than 2,000 kids in the DCFS system appeared to lose medical insurance this month. They were adopted children with special needs and kids in foster care. Happened because of a glitch in the computer system when DCFS switched insurance plans. That glitch almost stopped one woman's son with special needs from getting a surgery he desperately needs. Now, she wants to make sure other parents in her position don't get into a desperate situation.
No one could help me. No one could figure out why in the world this happened. Now, everybody thought it wouldn't be a big deal, but it proved to be almost impossible to get anything done.
She was able to get the issue resolved, but only after many phone calls. She says other parents in the situation should check with their doctor's offices on coverage before they have their next appointment.
Here's an update to the nationwide college admissions scandal. A woman with ties to Central Illinois could be headed to trial later this year if she doesn't reach a deal with federal prosecutors. Elizabeth Kimmel is charged with paying more than $500,000 to get her kids into college and working with a consultant to embellish resumes for her kids. She resigned from the Busey Bank Board of Trustees and owns Midwest Television, the company which used to own WCIA 3. The feds proposed trial groups, including Kimmel with actress Lori Loughlin and her husband, among others. Her defense responded in a filing today, saying in part the request for trial grouping is premature and the court should decide other motions first. There's a court hearing in Kimmel's case tomorrow morning. We have an update from 6. Another mediated bargaining session for Decatur teaching assistant contracts ended unsuccessfully tonight.
Yeah, tonight's bargaining session lasted 3 hours, but they're no closer to finalizing a deal. The contract talks have been happening for nearly a year. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is with us tonight. So, Jennifer, was this outcome expected tonight?
Paul, the union says they're not surprised that the board didn't agree to their terms because that's what's been happening ever since they started those contract negotiations. The teaching assistants have been working without a contract for 7 months, and it doesn't look like that will change anytime soon. Right before going into contract bargaining, Decatur teaching assistants stood outside picketing for their plea.
There's a lot of frustration on our side because we're just patiently waiting. It seems like we've tried all the right tactics. We've tried to reason with them in order to get them to come to terms or try to at least negotiate. At this point, it's just been so one-sided.
The waiting game will go on even longer. Neither the board or the union settled on a contract.
Unfortunately, it's not a surprise because this is what's been happening for the fourth bargaining session. There was no movement by the board.
The union is pushing for better wages, affordable health insurance, and job security. After Wednesday night's mediated bargaining session, a representative with Decatur Public Schools released a statement saying the board and the union had productive discussions but have not come to an agreement. The union does not share that same perspective.
Well, the board's response very succinctly is, quote, there is no interest, unquote, in offering a counterproposal on the big sticking items.
Some teaching assistants say the continued dispute about contract terms could have a negative impact on the district as a whole.
It's going to come back to, bite them in the butt when they don't have anybody to fill these positions or anybody willing to do this job. And people can't afford to work this job, then that's going to affect everyone, not just the TA and their family. It's going to affect the kids, too.
There is no set date for the next mediated bargaining session. Back to you.
All right, Jennifer, thanks. Well, as we reported in October, when those TAs went on a 3-day strike, the district unexpectedly took away their benefits, including health insurance. The union filed unfair labor practice charges that have now been assigned to an arbitrator. An arbitration date has been set in July when both sides will testify before a ruling is made. An historic theater in downtown Champaign is up for sale. The art theater closed in October. David Kraft owns the building along with the barbershop next door. The barbershop and the apartments above the theater already have tenants. Kraft says while the theater hasn't been used for months, it has everything it needs to start showing movies again.
I have the digital and analog projectors, all of the speakers, the sound equipment, the concession equipment, the inventory, everything from the popper to the popcorn machine. And the theater is ready to go as a business.
The theater, barbershop, and apartments are on sale for a total of $2 million.
It was an event to remind people to feel good about the hair they were born with. Why they say that's important for black women to hear about.
Plus, red light cameras will be a thing of the past, but only in some parts of the state.
And later, road games had not been the Illini's strong suit until this season. Why the players say it's all about mindset.